Hello and welcome back to yet another session, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create files using either Notepad or the Visual Studio Code that we installed, and we are going to do all these from the command prompt. Okay, so I'm going to start off with Notepad because that requires no installation, even though at this stage I expect that you should have installed Visual Studio Code already. Okay, so to create a test file using Notepad, it's as simple as saying Notepad and then you give the name of the test file. So let's say I want to create poem.txt. Okay, if I do this, Notepad is going to open and this dialog is going to show right in my face. It's saying cannot find poem.txt. Do you want to create a new file? So basically, if you give it a file name that doesn't exist, then it is going to ask you to create it. Otherwise, if the file already existed, then it is going to open the file just as it is. In this case, we want to create a new one. So I'll click this, and inside here, I can type a simple poem saying drink deep or taste not. Okay, and then I will save it and I can close. So you can see that there's a file called poem.txt on our desktop. Why? Because the desktop was our current working directory. You shouldn't forget this, especially if you are new to this whole command prompt stuff. Okay, and we can verify with dir, and we expect to see poem somewhere. So this is poem.txt over here. All right, so this time around, sorry, CLS. This time around, if I did Notepad, poem.txt, sorry, poem.txt, then you can see that it simply opens that file and shows me the content of that file. Of course, I can edit it and save it once again, but I just wanted to show you that if the file already exists, then that command is going to open the file and show you its content. Okay. All right, so I'm going to delete this poem.txt. So I go to delete and I've deleted it. And then the next one, I want to show you how to do the same thing with Visual Studio Code. Okay, now the Visual Studio Code installs some other program in your path called code that you can use to open Visual Studio Code itself. So now if I do code and I say poem.txt, it's going to open Visual Studio Code and it will automatically create a new file in Visual Studio Code called poem.txt, just as you can see, and I can start typing in here. So I can say drink deep or taste not. Okay, and then if I attempt to close this, of course Visual Studio Code will ask me to save it. I could also have saved it simply instead of trying to close it, so that Visual Studio Code will tell me to save it. And you can see that on the desktop I have poem.txt. So these are two ways of creating files. If you are in the command prompt and you want to create a new file that should open up in your text editor of choice, for Visual Studio Code the command is code and then the file name, and if you want to use Notepad, you simply say Notepad and the file name. So it's going to open that file, and if the file doesn't exist, they are both going to create those files for you. So thank you very much for watching this, and in the next video we take a look at how we can manipulate files using the command prompt. So see you soon in the next session.